It's your boy King Quarry here. Man, I can't remember the last time I said that. It's been quite some time. Um, so hey, it's me. Um, I know it's been a long time. So I wanted to make a video letting you guys know that I'm back. What the future of this channel is gonna be, why I stopped in the first place, and um, yeah. So I well, I guess I'll start with like the footage that you guys are seeing. So part of the reason, um, also, if you're still here, actually, before I even get into all that, I just want to thank you guys for supporting me. A lot of you guys have been supporting me for a long time, not even just on YouTube, when I was on, doing TikTok and other things too, my comic, and all of those things. So I just want to thank you guys for clicking this video and being a part of what I'm trying to do um, creatively in this space. So I first want to say thank you for that. Now to explain the content that you guys are seeing on screen, which I guess ties directly to one of the reasons why I quit YouTube, why I feel like I failed in the first place, was because um, me making videos was taking like an enormous amount of energy, and um I'm working on so many different things, like creatively, but even just working on things in my own life and on myself. Like, I've burnt out on pretty much every creative project and endeavor that I've ever done. For those of you who have followed the 3 comics that I started and burnt out on, YouTube. TikTok was more of an intentional decision to leave because the community was very toxic. But primarily, it all kind of stems from me trying to provide so much like worth and to prove myself, and then I find myself like putting out so much energy and doing more than what is like actually sustainable for me to do. And so instead of like putting together like the video essays that I was doing, which I still would like to do video essays at some point, maybe even have someone else edit it, because something that I've realized, and this is with my comics and with my art as well, is that I just don't have the energy that other people have to do as much in this short amount of time. So that's why for this channel I decided, you know, in order to not have to deal with like copyright for like showing other media and stuff like that, um, and not having to edit, I could just put some footage of me gaming in the background as I talk about different topics, different things. So yeah, I mean, I worried a long time actually that I was like, oh, my gameplay isn't really that good. Like, I don't compete in gaming like I used to. So some part of me is like, oh, like the gaming content isn't going to be that great, or people might talk about it, whatever. But ultimately, I decided that I felt that me just making what I wanted to make, with what I have, um, just made sense to me, in this way. So I I decided like, hey, you know, yeah, I just thought that it would be a good idea for me to just finally do this. I've had this idea for a while. And I know it's not like new, it's not moving the needle, it's not the impactful, really beautiful video essays that I loved, and I loved even making them, but sometimes I just don't have the energy, which I guess will get into also further into like the burnout thing is that I just was putting numbers over the work a little bit. And what I mean by that is that I want, all of us want to gain, money and traffic for the stuff that we do, the hard work that we put into everything. But I was uploading it frequencies for the comic and for YouTube to try to get into like partnership programs faster. And then by putting the amount of effort and energy into the work that I was making while trying to keep up with the frequency, keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, it just didn't add up. It didn't make sense. And it was draining me. And I still deal with a lot of issues with energy because I deal with some mental health difficulties and some difficulties in my life. So this just makes the most sense to be like, to make a very simple like format and to make things that I want to make. I think I will save some topics for like, if I can get someone to edit or make like a proper video essay or like maybe film something more proper. Like I have some plans for stuff like that, but ultimately I just have to be really careful with my energy. I'm still working on comics. I'm actually trying to work on a Kickstarter, a crowdfunding campaign, maybe bring back one of the series that some of you guys know me for. And I'm also working on a collaborative comic with someone else, and there's a bunch of spinning plates. So the other reason I think I also kind of burnt out and I stopped was that I just felt like maybe it was too late. And even now, I'm afraid that maybe it's too late because YouTube is changing their terms for partnership. And I'm not saying that I'm only doing this for money or for partnership, because that's not true. But, and also the amount of people that I've seen have monetization turned off or have different things happen, has also been like a bit of a deterrent for me. So, I just felt like maybe there was enough content out here. I don't even like that word content either, by the way. I feel like it takes away from like the creative aspect of a little bit. It turns art into like marketable, like, I don't know how to put it into words. And I know I'm just ranting here, but essentially, I've been wanting to do YouTube pretty much since the beginning. I actually had a YouTube channel idea that was basically like RDC World, and I remember watching the first VidCon. I remember watching like Timothy DeLaGhetto, Dime a Dozen, and all these people, and I just wanted to be part of the content that, I mean, like not the content, but like the world that they were all a part of so badly. But then, my group kind of never took off. Some people didn't like that I was, I guess, the leader, quote unquote. But to me, I just wanted to make something with my friends. That was the whole idea. And I guess just feeling like, even for me, sometimes it's hard to see certain content creators and watch their stuff because it just, there is a little bit of envy there, because I'm like, man, I felt like I could have done that or done this thing. So I also had like some falling outs with like other creative people and stuff like that too. So that was also a small part of the reason why. But yeah, I wanted to get back to it now because I felt like this might be my last time to try to do it in this way. Not to say that monetization is the only goal. Not to say that I will quit if I don't achieve monetization, because that's not the only goal here. But it's just like a dream I had since I was like, what, 14 years old. So it's something that I've always wanted to do. Now getting into like what I'm gonna be doing moving forward. I kind of want to have a model where I can just talk about kind of whatever I want in a sense, but I want to start with these topics. So one thing that I would want to do, like before, was the nerdy kind of reviews, whether that's shows, movies, games. Primarily, probably more on like the movie show thing, but I do, especially since I got all this game footage, which mostly my game footage right now is from Densha Attack and 2XKO. That's where most of my footage is gonna be from. But I definitely want to do a review for Densha Attack. I thought also about doing a review for Lanterns, especially since episode 2 will be out in a few days, so I might just do a review of both of those at the same time. So things like that. I also thought about story time. Some people, I used to live abroad. I've lived all over the place, New York, Maryland as a kid. Like I have stories that people like me to tell. Like sometimes they'll ask me when we're around other people to tell a story, and I like story time videos. I prefer the animated ones, but I think for now I do want to try a story time video in this format and just see how it does. Another thing I was thinking about is like critique. So like if you guys have a certain thing that you're making that you want some eyes on, or like something that you really like that isn't talked about enough, maybe like, and the difference of a review is like kind of being more like focused or intentional. So if someone has like a suggestion, something that I haven't tried before, because the reviews are just going to be things that I personally always enjoyed or already have in mind. I also wanted to talk about my creative endeavors, what I'm working on outside of like YouTube, like maybe the comics and other things like that. So, and I think I might have mentioned video essays already, but that's something that I want to get back into eventually. Again, when I have someone editing or something like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Oh, that's another thing I was gonna say. Part of the reason I also stopped was that like I felt like I couldn't be myself when I was talking. So I was being more of like a caricaturized version of myself. So I'm gonna try to be more authentic, because again, just playing that character just takes away from my energy, and I just want to be my authentic self with you guys. But yeah, if you got to this far in the video, please consider liking, subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you guys for being here, listening to me be honest, and yeah, there's like a lot of other life stuff going on too, but I'm just gonna leave it here. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you guys for spending these 14 minutes with me. Bye.